Hello, Tom Gangler, South Point Financial Credit Union, and with me today is a special guest.
Yes, thank you, Tom, for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Allison Chiak, and I work in the Human Resource Department here at South Point Financial Credit Union.
Awesome, glad to have you here. So human resources, and that's what the topic of today is, evaluating employee benefits, getting your first job or maybe taking a second one. So we're going to take an overview, look at what there is out there to offer. First thing, Allison, can you talk a little bit about what are benefits?
Yes, that is a great question, Tom. And so what are employee benefits? And when we're talking about this today, what we're going to be referring to really is the perks and the advantages that an employer is going to offer their employees that they can take advantage of in addition to just their hourly or annual compensation. So think of these as a you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Oftentimes, employers are going to offer these benefit packages as a way not only to entice employees to come work for their company, but to also keep them there long term.
That's great. So what are some of the common benefits out there that we see?
So the most common benefits that we see are going to be health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance. You'll often see a long-term or short-term disability, and life insurance.
Of those benefits, which ones kind of stand out to you as important?
The one that I think stands out as typically the most important among people searching for a job and reviewing a benefits package is going to be the health insurance. And there's a number of reasons. We often use a health insurance. Think about all the times that you're going into the doctor for different visits, different health concerns, whether that's you or a family member. So health insurance, there's a lot of different aspects that go into it, but keep it simple. There's a lot of terms. Focus on the cost and the convenience.
Allison, can you talk a little more about the cost of these insurances?
Yes, so let's look at health insurance because that is, again, probably the most common and oftentimes the most important. So looking at the cost is going to be essential in reviewing a benefit package. So look at the premiums, which is how much is that going to cost you from your payroll deduction? Is that a high amount? Is that a lower amount? How much is the employer covering of that cost? Maybe there's a plan at no cost to you and the employer is covering that health insurance at 100%. Think about the annual deductible as well, because until you meet your deductible, you are going to have to be paying a lot of these expenses out of pocket. So when evaluating a health insurance plan and trying to determine which one you should choose, I always say look back. Look back at the last 2 years. How often were you going into the doctor? Or also look ahead. Do you have some big things coming up? Whether you have a surgery, you're planning to have a baby, that can really affect the choices you're going to make with your insurance, or specifically here, your health insurance. For instance, if you're planning to have a baby and add to your family, you might want to look at a lower deductible plan. You're going to meet that pretty quickly with the expenses that come along with that. And so considering some of those factors is going to be really important.
When you go in to select your benefits, that can be an important decision to make for the entire year. And you mentioned having a baby. Obviously, life happens. Maybe a baby was unplanned, or maybe you get married. What happens then with your insurance?
So our needs change. We all know that. And there are plenty of opportunities for you to look at changing some of the benefits. So certain benefits do allow you to change mid-year at any time. Talk with your HR department about what benefits have those opportunities for you. However, some benefits you don't always get that opportunity, and you do have to wait for certain periods to make some changes. Let's talk about open enrollment. This is going to happen annually. It kind of depends on your company when that annual period takes place, but this is a great opportunity to, again, review the whole benefits package, look at if anything has changed with providers, with carriers, with the cost, and make some elections or maybe unselect some of those that you had and you didn't use. There's also life events. So life events occur, we have a baby, we get married. Again, when this happens, talk to your HR provider about, is this an opportunity for you to update your benefits?
Let's switch gears and talk about a fun subject, time off, paid time off, PTO. Vacation time, sick time, there's different words for it. But can you give us a brief overview of how that works for many companies?
I can. So paid time off, this is crucial, probably my favorite benefit at work because we need some work-life balance, right? And so paid time off, PTO is what it's often referred to as, looks different for every company. So you're going to see this in a variety of different forms. Sometimes everything is included under paid time off, your sick time, your vacation time, your personal time, and sometimes that's broken up individually. So talk with your potential employer about what that package looks like.
What are some questions that you might want to ask about accrual time or how much you start your job with?
So there's some really good questions you should be asking that are tailored to paid time off. The first question is, how do you earn time off? Because there's a variety of different ways. There's a variety of different PTO packages. So does that look like an accrual-based time off earning, which means that you're earning time off on maybe a biweekly basis, a monthly basis, a weekly basis? Or is it a front load system where, upon hire or upon the beginning of the year, you're front loaded all of your hours for the remainder of the year? The next question that's really important to ask is, what happens if I don't use my time by the end of the year? Some policies are going to allow you to roll over all of your hours, continue to build those hours, and use them as you need to. Sometimes they might have a cap of how many hours that you can roll over into the new year. So you want to ensure that you're using those hours and taking advantage of that time off, so it's not a use it or lose it situation.
Obviously, there's lots of benefits out there that employers can offer, and we've talked about insurance, we've talked about time away. What are some other common ones that you see that are very positive to look out for?
So employers can get really creative with their benefits and offer a very variety of fun packages. So some of the most important benefits to ask about, in addition to the ones we've already talked about, are going to be your retirement plan. So looking ahead into your future. So what does their retirement plan look like? Do they have a match if you're contributing as well? Because the last thing you want to do is leave money on the table when it's there for you to take advantage of. Another important benefit, depending on where you work, you might really believe and be inspired by the product or service that they're offering. Is there some discounts or perks that you can be given through that employer? Do they offer a paid parental leave? So again, if you're looking into your future and you have some changes coming your way, in addition to your paid time off, maybe that company offers some paid maternity leave, paternity leave. So ask those questions about that. It's a very common one. If you're a new graduating student or maybe looking at going back to school in the future, what does some tuition reimbursement look like? Take advantage of those. Maybe you're a gym junkie and you want to get to the gym. Sometimes they have some gym reimbursements. And then lastly, another one is going to be some bonus and incentive programs that they might have.
What are some of the common questions that you get asked during the interview process?
Well, there's a lot of questions, but the one I get most often is, when do my benefits begin? And that's because it's really important to some people. And it should be important to all of us because accidents happen. You never know when you're going to need to make a trip to the doctor, or you have a toothache and you need to get to be seen by a provider. And so asking when your benefits begin is important because sometimes benefits begin on day one, but sometimes there's a waiting period and you might have to wait 3 months until your benefits kick in. And if you have a prescription that you need to get picked up, it's going to be really important that your benefits kick in sooner rather than later.
So we work here at South Point Financial Credit Union. What are some of the benefits that stand out to you that South Point provides?
So one of the benefits that stands out to me is our tuition reimbursement. So if an employee is enrolled in our health insurance plan, they have some opportunity to allocate some of their funds from a health savings account towards their student loans. This is really exciting for some of those new people that are graduating and finding their first job and have to make those monthly payments on student loans. So this is a really great benefit for individuals to take advantage of if you have some student loan payments and you want to get those paid off a little bit quicker.
Allison, earlier you mentioned HSAs, health savings accounts. Can you talk a little bit more detail about those for us?
I sure can. So a health savings account is a personal savings account that you can set up. Not all plans of health insurance are going to offer a health savings account. So again, talk with your HR department about if that's an opportunity for you to utilize. But if they do offer a health savings account, you can contribute your own funds to this account on a pre-tax basis, meaning you don't pay income taxes on those funds from your paycheck that you put in there. Sometimes we even see employers contributing to the health savings account, which is a huge bonus for employees. And the other perk of a health savings account is, again, it's a savings account. So if you were to leave the employer, you take those funds with you. But again, keep in mind, these funds do need to be used for certain health expenses.
So Allison, you've gone into a lot of detail about all the other things that can go into your employer's benefit package. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than the salary, the hourly rate, and everything like that. So I appreciate all that information that you've given to us. What are some other things that are super important to you when it comes to benefits?
Well, there's a lot of things that are important to me when it comes to benefits, but what I think when evaluating benefits is think about yourself. So what is the most important to you? So when you're looking at a benefits package, again, review everything we talked about today, but think of some additional items. One I want to talk about is personal growth and development. So if you're starting your career, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And is this role going to help get you there? Or does the company value growth and development and some learning opportunities? Ask some questions about where the company stands on growth and development and those opportunities to learn and advance within that position. The next thing that's really important is going to be talking about the company culture, because you're going to be spending a lot of your time at work. And so it's important to ensure that you're going to fit in with the company culture. I love getting asked by interviewees what the company culture is like here at South Point and what some of my favorite things are about working here. And so ask those questions when you're being interviewed. Next is think about the commute. So how far of a drive do you have to get to this job? It might be offering more with the hourly wage, but if it's a 2-hour drive versus a 15-minute drive, take that into consideration, because there could be some additional funds that you're going to have to use out of your own pocket to get to work. But also, do you have a reliable vehicle if you're having to travel a lot? Lastly, a work-life balance. Again, we talked about paid time off. And a work-life balance is really important these days to be able to balance everything that we have going on and the other important things outside of work. And so thinking about that work-life balance and what else outside of paid time off does the company offer? Maybe they have some flexibility opportunities for you to work additional hours one day, take some time off early the other day. Maybe it's telecommuting and working from home as needed or on an intermittent basis. Think about all of these things when considering a new position.
Awesome. So Allison, I want to thank you so much for your time. Obviously, a lot goes into making those choices when you're selecting a job to take. Not only the pay, the salary, the benefits, the work-life culture, the balance, the commute. There's a lot to think of. We hope you found some value in today's video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.